If you want to know whether or not you should buy the new Tesla Cybertruck or to know my opinion about it, make sure to watch to the end of this video. Let's get right into it. So, the Cybertruck. Some people like it, some people hate it. In my honest opinion, it's crap. But everyone seems to have a different opinion on this, so I asked a few different people. But anyways, today I'm going to be figuring out for sure whether or not you should buy it with the amount of money. Now, in my opinion, I think the acceleration and the top speed are just too slow. The truck is $75,000, and honestly, when I expected something as fast as this Roadster right here, obviously, I was really disappointed. This is way faster than the Cybertruck I just showed was. Then again, though, this was $600,000, so you got to expect more from it. But I was really expecting a more expensive truck. That's another okay truck. But yeah, it was pretty disappointing for me. But anyways, people seem to like it, and their idea is that it's worth it because it's not worth very much money. In my personal opinion, I think that's wrong. I don't think it's worth it. I think you should save up for the Raptor or just go with the pickup truck. That's what I'm going to be testing today. So what's the best way to test the truck? Everyone seems to have a different opinion on it. Some people like to race them. That seems to be the most popular way to test them. And some people just like to see like how much money they can make in a certain amount of time. I used to do that with different tests. But I've kind of found the best way to do it is to test how fast they can get you from point A to point B. Because when you rob a store, it's really hard to test a car if you're robbing a store and you don't know what bank floor is going to pop up. It might take you a really long time to rob the bank if you get a really bad floor, or it might take you less time if you get a really good floor. So you don't really know, and that has nothing to do with the car. So the best way to test it, in my opinion, is to make a cycle. It doesn't really matter how fast you rob the stores, but it really matters how fast the car can get you from point A to point B, or get you to different stores in a certain amount of time. Basically, how fast you can make money grinding, and when you really want to earn that dough fast. So to test this, I'm going to be taking the Cybertruck and starting all the way at the spawn, which is this gun shop right here. As you can see, if I go down, the Cybertruck spawns right in this parking lot. At least it should. Yeah, there you go. There's the Cybertruck. And the spawn has a lot to do with the car too, like how convenient it is to get when you have it, because not everyone has the upgraded garage game pass. I'm going to be taking it, I'm going to be driving it all the way down to the donut shop. And then once I get to the donut shop, I'll be going down to the gas station, which is right there. You can see it. And once I get down to the gas station, I'll be going to the bank, and then to the jewelry store, and then the museum, and then the power plant. Then I'll be driving it back as quickly as possible to the collector and the base down here, because the best way to rob things generally is to do it in a cycle, because you'll be robbing the donut shop, and then you'll get however much money from that, and then it'll be closed for like 5 minutes. And then you'll go ahead and rob the gas station and get however much money from that. And then you'll go down to the bank, rob the bank and the jewelry store and get your money from the jewelry store. You'll rob the museum, and while you're holding the money from the jewelry store, you'll rob it. And then you'll do the same thing with the power plant, holding the money from both, and then you'll cash it all in at the same time. And by that point, the robberies will start reopening, so you can re-rob the donut shop and then the gas station. It should go in a perfect circle. And that's generally, I've tested it before, the best way to grind in Jailbreak. So that's what you want to do. In grinding, again, robbing stuff has no effect on the car. So with the car, again, because I won't be robbing any of these, I'll be driving by at full speed, and then I'll stop at each one like this, and then keep going and count it. And I'll have a certain amount of times. I'm going to do 10 minutes for each car and each variation of the car, more on that later, but I'll be stopping at each robbery like that. So basically, top speed has a lot to do with it. As you can see, like nothing going on. The top speed of the car is the only thing keeping it back right now. And off-roading has something to do with it, like whether or not you can just go over the train tracks like this, and that kind of thing. And then braking has something to do with it. I have to make a complete stop and then take off. That's braking acceleration. That'll kind of tell you how fast the car is. Handling has something to do with it. Basically, you get the idea now. How good is the car overall? What is the overall score of the car compared to the other cars? So like, I know from a fact from testing it before, the Tesla Roadster fully upgraded can make it around the entire map 9 times in 20 minutes, which is insane. But like the pickup truck, I think can only do it like 3 or 4 times in 20 minutes, just because it's a lot slower. That's a big difference. That's like twice as much money you could be earning in the same amount of time. That's basically what I'm going to be testing today. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I will be testing each vehicle with the level 5 engine and without the level 5 engine. Again, 10 minutes for each variation. I'll be talking about it. I'll give you guys a time lapse so you don't have to watch the whole thing. And so this video is not like 2 hours long. So yeah, I'll be doing this. I'll be doing the pickup truck, the Tesla Cybertruck, I'll be doing the Raptor, and I'll be doing the Tesla Roadster, just because some people expected this to be better, if not as good as the Tesla Roadster. Obviously, they got disappointed, but I might as well throw it in there anyway. So yeah, I'll be testing all 4 of those cars with and without level 5 engines. And yeah, let's get right into it. And make sure to like the video, because I'm spending like 2 hours of my life just driving around a map without robbing anything. Yay! Alright, so the unupgraded pickup truck made it around the entire map twice before it went to the jewelry store, and that's when the time ran out. So again, twice, and then it got to the jewelry store. It's only $8,000. I would actually argue that it's worth it, because I mean, $8,000 is like nothing. You could rob like one store and then another valuable store, like 2 or 3 valuable store robberies in like 30 minutes of playtime. Like any noob could get this truck. Plus, I guess a perk for it is you can fit 2 players in the back with their guns out, and 4 players in total. But yeah, I would argue it's worth the $8,000, but obviously it was the lowest on this list, with again only twice in the jewelry store. Yeah, so the truck did a lot better when it had a level 5 engine. The upgraded truck did. And it went around 3 times, then it got to the donut shop, which is a lot better. The acceleration and top speed were a lot better in general, and again, kind of the same thing, just an upgrade. So the unupgraded Cybertruck did a lot better than the pickup truck unupgraded. Made it around like a full 3 times. That's it. Couldn't get to the donut shop, just 3 times flat. It had a lot better acceleration than the pickup truck did when it wasn't upgraded. A lot better top speed than the pickup truck did when it wasn't upgraded. Overall, I don't know. I don't think it's worth the $75,000, but we're gonna see. I think the thing that might make it worth the money is the fact that you can hold 6 players in the back. That's a lot of people in a truck for $75,000. Really is, and I think it's either 2 or 4. I'll put it on the screen. Number of players can shoot out of the back of the truck. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good, actually, surprisingly. I still don't think it's worth it. But yeah, upgraded the Cybertruck, made it around 4 times. Just flat, again, couldn't quite get to the donut shop. And yeah, on to the next car. You know, I always feel bad when I find people in my server, because I forgot to turn it off so that they couldn't join. So like now this fan's like, hi, I'm finally in your server, I'm finally in your server. Goodbye. Like, I always feel a little bit bad about it, just because they're like, yeah, I'm in a server with Bragon. Sorry, I'm recording. You have to leave. And they're like, oh no, I did something wrong. Anyways, if this happens to you, don't really worry about it. It just, you know, it happens. I don't want anyone else in the server while I record these kind of videos, because they could get in the way, or like stop me from doing it accurately. You know what I mean? It could get in the way of the video. So if you are ever like that fan that gets kicked, don't worry about it. Anyways, on with the video. So the unupgraded Raptor made it around twice, and then it got to the power plant, so not quite 3 times like the unupgraded Cybertruck did. I thought the top speed was better than the Cybertruck. Like, I thought the top speed of the Raptor was pretty good. The off-roading was the best of any vehicle on the list so far, and it just didn't have great acceleration or braking. Like, the braking was terrible, in my opinion. You might not think that has a lot to do with it, but when you're constantly speeding up and stopping, I think it does. The Raptor can hold 6 players. The Raptor can hold 6 players, which is again really good, but I don't think as many of them can shoot out of the back. And it's not really as exciting, because it's $250,000, and you have to be a certain level with cops to get it. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it more than the Cybertruck is, even if it's not quite as fast, just because of the off-roading and the top speed. And it seems heavier too. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but it seems heavier, so when like you run into another car, that car is going to go flying. I mean, it just feels more solid than any of the other cars in the game. In my opinion, with the possible exception of maybe the fire truck. Upgraded the Raptor, made it around 3 times, and then to the museum, not quite 4 times like the Cybertruck got around to upgraded. It had a lot better top speed. Not going to say it had better acceleration. It did a little bit, but yeah, still pretty good. So on to the last, final, and fastest car on this list. Honestly, it's not really going to compete because of the price. The unupgraded Roadster made it around the entire map 4 times, and then to the donut shop, unupgraded. Like, that's more than the fastest car the Cybertruck made it around upgraded. So that's crazy speeds. That's ridiculous. 4 times, donut shop, unupgraded. And it had the best top speed, hands down, best acceleration, hands down. I would say it had the worst off-roading, but when you have that much acceleration and speed, I don't really think it matters. The handling wasn't great. It definitely feels like the lightest car on the list, so it's not very solid. It'll do its UFO thing every now and then too. But yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing, and upgraded. I made it around 4 times in the museum. Not really that big of a difference with the level 5 engine. I think the off-roading is the only thing really holding it back, as well as the fact that it's so light. So looking back on this list, I'll admit I was wrong. I thought the Cybertruck wouldn't be worth it. I mean, I still dislike it. It just seems too light, and it seems kind of glitchy still, in my opinion. I prefer the Raptor more. It just feels so heavy. Like, the handling isn't great because of that, but it just feels so solid, with the possible exception of maybe the fire truck. But why did this go from day to night? I'll admit though, I was wrong. I would say the Cybertruck is worth it. Approved. You should get it. It is a good, it makes a good middle ground. So if you don't want to save from like the pickup truck to the Raptor, which is like a huge difference, like $242,000 of a difference. If you want something in the middle, I would definitely get the Cybertruck. It is pretty good. I would say use the Raptor. It didn't really do better as far as speed, but it just seems way better for off-roading, and it's a lot more unstoppable, a lot more fun to drive. That's just my opinion though. The stats say that the Cybertruck is better than the Raptor. There's the stats, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because I know for a fact that at least 90% of you haven't subscribed yet. I'd really appreciate it. These videos take a lot of work to make, and I haven't been super active recently. I plan on posting a lot more, and this is just one step in that direction. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Make sure to follow my Twitter too. It's @Bragon2, and I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.